Hello friends of the Northern Entertainment and welcome to the very first episode of Dual Universe. I was given access to this by the developers and yeah, here we are. In my very first steps, I have followed the tutorial for a while yet. If you don't know what Dual Universe is, I have a link to their webpage in the description. It is a new released space exploration game. It is a persistent world. I don't know exactly how many planets there are. We have to look here on the map. But it is a full solar system. Scale planets. So you will be on your feet if you want to walk around one of them. And yeah, as I said, I was lucky enough to be chosen to get a code and get started here. So I have done the basic stuff, just yeah, you know, how to walk around, how to change cameras, blah blah blah. So we are here now, and now let's get your sanctuary territory. Simply follow the waypoint to the nearby dispenser, which is I think I'm here. Probably this one here. And activated.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Now that you are equipped with your territory unit, let's get back to the rest of the tutorial.
Okay.
Head down via the nearby elevators. Now is the time to present the key pillar activities that are available for Novians. Each of these will be presented here quickly, and you will later be able to discover more about them via the institutes and their dedicated tutorials.
Oh boy,
Let's head to the mining station first. Follow the waypoint towards the downstairs platform.
Follow the waypoint. Follow the waypoint. Oh, there. Okay. So, I'm gonna go through this tutorial here with you guys, and well, if you have any questions about the game,
mining is one of the primary activities.
Feel free to ask them.
This is how you acquire
below.
raw materials, if you don't simply buy them on the markets. Those materials are located either on the planet's surface, or they can be buried kilometers deep underground. Surface materials have a low value, while more valuable materials, from level 1 to level 5, are found deeper. As is often the case, to access the surface mining activity, you will need a tool.
Of course.
Here is the harvest tool, which is highlighted in the toolbar below. Pointing at harvestable elements on the surface and clicking on them, while the harvest tool is equipped, will allow you to collect them.
Cool.
Press the quick access key for this. Great. Unfortunately, there are no surface harvestable elements here, so you will need to begin mining deep underground. You will need a way to scan for available materials in a large radius. This is the job of the scanner tool, highlighted here. Once in close range, the directional detector will help you pinpoint the location of the material. Finally, to collect the found material, or simply to dig your way down, you will use the mining tool, highlighted just below. You'll learn more about this in the interactive mining tutorial, located inside the Mining Institute. Now, let's talk about the markets. Get close to the waypoint.
Let's go to the market. This little piggy went to the market. What is this? Ah, here.
Markets are an essential part of Novian life. This is where you can sell the materials you mine, but also buy anything that you might need. Markets are physically located in the world. They are accessible either via market pod units, like the one in front of you, or via the integrated nanomarket interface. The nanomarket interface allows you to browse markets at a distance, but cannot help you to deposit or recover items that are traded. For that, you will need to directly interact with a market pod.
Okay.
Very quickly, let's have a look at what the nanomarket interface looks like. To open it, press the nanomarket key. You can search for a particular item that you would like to trade by using these search boxes.
Okay.
Nitron is a fuel you will often use and frequently buy. Type nitron in the search box to get access to the nitron. You can see the market orders for nitron. These are all the intentions to buy or sell nitron by other Novians on various markets in the solar system. You can pick the cheapest or the nearest offer, depending on your priorities. You can also create your own buy or sell orders, or let the system pick the best offer for you. We will look into this at the end of this tutorial, when we will buy nitron for your speeder vehicle. For now, let's close the nanomarket interface and continue our video. Okay. Let's now have a look at another important activity, industry. Go to the industry station, just a few meters on the left. In front of you is an assembly line, one of the many industry unit elements available, which includes things like chemical reactors, glass furnaces, refineries, or smelters. Each industry unit type is specialized through certain types of recipes. The assembly line can take ingredients in an entry container, like the one here on the left, and then run a recipe to craft elements. The elements are stored in the exit container, as seen here on the right, that can be chained as an entry container for another industry unit.
Wow.
To select the recipe, there is an industry unit interface that you will learn about in the dedicated industry tutorial, inside the Industry Institute.
Wow.
Thankfully, entry-level recipes for simple products can be run without an industry unit. For that, you can use your integrated nanocrafter. Before we open the nanocrafter, let's get some ingredients we will need from the nearby dispenser. Oh, excellent. Now, let's open the nanocrafter by pressing the nanocrafter key. We are great. This interface allows you to pick a recipe and run it in the background to produce simple products. On the left is a selection area to pick a recipe. You currently have just a few ingredients, which allow a limited set of Excellent. Now, let's click on Nitron Fuel. The panel that appeared shows you the necessary ingredients, which you just retrieved from the dispenser. It also offers the possibility to add this crafting job to the queue. Simply click on Add to Fantastic. As you can see, your job is now in the queue and you will have a batch of nitron ready in a few seconds. That will be all for this short introduction. There is of course more to know, and you can go to the Industry Institute to go through the specialized tutorials.
Yeah, I wonder if we should do that maybe.
For now, let's close this window. In general, crafting jobs will continue in the back. Okay, now let's learn about building, and how you can use all these materials and elements to create amazing constructs. Just turn to the station on your right.
That looks pretty wild.
This bizarre construction in front of you is called a construct. It is a mix of deployed voxel materials used to sculpt a shape, and deployed elements to make it functional. The first element you deploy to create a construct is a core unit, as highlighted here. It will create a building zone, within which you will be allowed to build. Core units come in different sizes, and also specializations. Static core units are for ground buildings, dynamic core units are for ships or anything that moves, and space core unit are for space stations. Once you have created your building zone, you can start to deploy matter, as voxel honeycomb materials, or voxels for short. You have a large palette of tools and materials to help you sculpt absolutely anything you like, regardless of shape or complexity. Finally, you can add elements to your construct, in the form of engines, doors, lights, fuel tanks, or any of the hundreds of available elements that provide functionality to your builds.
And obviously I couldn't.
Building is a vast subject. It is advised to go through the various building tutorials located inside the Building Institute. Note that the building you are currently in, as well as all the other buildings outside, are entirely made with the same building tools.
And this is the amazing thing for me.
Also, some of the cool constructs you can build not only include static buildings, but also space or atmospheric ships. Let's have a look at this now. Follow the waypoint to the next station. This is a surface speeder, a very basic ground atmospheric vehicle that is both convenient and cheap to build, and allows you to move around planet surfaces. You will be gifted one at the end of this tutorial. Everything in this speeder is functional and plays a role in making it work. Let's quickly review the different elements that it's composed of. Here are the hover engines, which help the speeder float above the ground. These extra small atmospheric engines are used for propulsion and moving forward. They require fuel, taken from this atmospheric fuel tank. Adjusters are small elements used to create rotational forces and help balance your ship. You also need brakes to be able to slow down. And finally, you need a piloting seat to be able to fly it. Activating this piloting seat activates the ship, which is how you take control of it. All these elements are orchestrated via a Lua script that is generated automatically for you.
Oh, goodness,
but you can also
thanks.
modify it via a right-click menu on the piloting seat to create absolutely any kind of control you like. Note that piloting in the atmosphere of a planet or in outer space can be very different, and involves different types of engines and design. Gravity may ground you if you have a heavy cargo on a high-gravity planet, while it won't matter in the darkness of space. In Dual Universe, piloting is an art, a subtle interplay between your piloting skills and the craftsmanship of the ship designer. You can learn more about piloting in the dedicated tutorials in the Piloting Institute. Piloting is not only about navigating your ship, but will often also involve combat. Look up at the fighter above your head. I've highlighted the weapons that are equipped on this small ship. There are many more types of weapons, ammunition, and damage types. Each has a specific role. This is a small fighter, but you can also build giant battleships with a crew of hundreds of people, each assigned to a particular task. There is much more to discover about combat, so you should definitely visit the Military Institute to know more. Now, let's go to the last station and learn about organizations. Follow the waypoint. Organizations are a fundamental part of your social life as a Novian. They are groups that you can join, covering things like nations, corporations, alliances, or even group of pirates. Let's have a quick look at the organization interface. Open it as you can expect, you are not part of any organization yet.
Go figure.
Let's click the search button to find out what are the currently existing you can search through this list, focusing on open organizations, which are recruiting, or sorting by member numbers, name, or language. To apply for an organization, you need to open its details page. Click on the name of any of the listed organizations to open its details page.
Wow. Lake Industry. United Federation of Planets. Wow.
In this window, you can see a summary of relevant information regarding this organization. This area will allow you to apply to join this organization, along with a place to write a quick introduction to go along with it. Joining an organization can be a considerable boost for your new life as a Novian. Choose wisely. You can now close the detail window.
Done. Oh.
You can, of course, also decide to create your organization from scratch, even if this is a little bit more advanced. For example, managing an organization involves legates and members, rules, voting, and management of rights. This is something you will discover later.
Wonderful.
You can now close the organization interface. Excellent.
Done.
You have covered the basics. Now, let's move to the next step and talk about talents. Follow the waypoint.
I have no talents.
To start with, let's open the talent window by pressing the talent key.
Which is F2.
Talents define your character abilities. They are grouped into categories that are displayed all around your avatar in this window. Here, for example, is the mining and inventory group.
Well, look at that.
Click on it. Excellent. Now, look on the left at the list of categories that correspond to this group. Each category hosts several talents.
Oh, wow.
Click on the Inventory Manager. Finally, select the Nanopack Upgrades tab. Very good. Talents can be upgraded from level 1 up to level 5 by spending talent points in increasing quantities. Each level acquired provides a boost to a certain characteristic, described just below its name.
Beautiful.
For example, here the Nanopack Upgrades helps to increase the size of the inventory by 200 liters for each talent level acquired. The amount of talent points you currently have is displayed in the upper part of the screen. Talent points automatically accumulate, even when you are offline, at a slow rate, shown here. To consume points to instantly train a particular talent, you could simply use the Invest Points button I just highlighted, assuming you have enough points for the talent you are aiming for.
Done.
Most of the time, you have very little accumulated points, because the rate of accumulation is slow. Instead, you can decide to queue a talent, and enter an active learning phase, which as you can see, the selected talent now displays in the queue. You can queue several talents to train one after the other. Note that dependencies between talents might exist, and you should train talents in the right order. See how the acquisition rate is much faster during active learning, when a talent is in a queue. Acquired points are immediately assigned to the talent which is currently being trained. It is a good practice to always have several talents scheduled in the queue, to be able to train them without interruption. Note that talents also train when you are offline. So, make sure to always have a filled queue that spans a long duration. If the queue ends when you are not online, you will fall back to the slow talent point accumulation rate.
That is actually pretty cool.
Take your time to review the existing talents, and think about how you want to plan them out. There is no rule of thumb here. You can become hyper-specialized, or decide to be a jack of all trades. When you're ready, you can close the talent window.
To be honest with you guys, I'm thinking I'm probably gonna specialize 2 things. What's a dredger? That's what it... What? Mining efficient. Well, I guess advanced mining it is. Oh wow, look at this. So, get advanced mining, so you need mining range. You all acquired, there we go. 11 hours, wow. I could accelerate this significantly because they gave me quite a bit of talent points, nicely enough, to get us going. However, I think I'm gonna end the video here, and we will be back in about 14 hours because I have the feeling that my talent points are better spent somewhere else. I can just wait and see what you guys think of this video here first, if you even want to see more. This was, as I said, just a very small overview of things, and that's why I wanted to have you guys here with me in this video to see the tutorial, because this explains it a lot better than I ever could. And yeah, as I said, I also have a link to Dual Universe, to the webpage, in the description below if you are interested. That is it for me for now. I know there was not much interaction there because, well, most of the talking was done by Ophelia. And yeah, when you're ready, you can close the talent window. I think I'm ready.
At this point.